Hi, I want to discuss the Kundalini some more today in the second installment. And the simple fact of the matter is, people are going to have to judge for themselves what they're capable of and what they are not, and what's dangerous to try and what's not. And all I can do is describe the system, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give any apologies for it. I'll simply explain the way I understand it as best I can. Now, if you may remember, we had this other diagram here of the Ida and Pingala. And the Pingala is red. Ida is the pale blue, like the moon. And through the center runs a Sushumna. Now, this is not just allegorical in that people who have gotten the real Kundalini awakening have observed things and can see the lotuses, can see the petals, can see the Shumna center channel, Ida and Pingala. So these things will come to your inner vision if an awakening occurs. Just don't want to if you're trying to do so through Kundalini yoga, please be careful, because the yoga can potentially be harmful if you need to meet all preconceptions, or not all preconceptions, you need to meet all prerequisites as listed in such authors as Swami Shivananda Sarasvati. However, there are many other methods to get to enlightenment, and it can be said potentially that all of them mostly result from an awakened form of Kundalini, but the attempts to awaken Kundalini don't need to be taken directly, as in Kundalini yoga. In other words, meditating on deity, your guru above your head, things like this, images, visualizations, there are all sorts of forms of pursuing enlightenment. This is just one, the yogic form, and as a yogic form, it can put certain stresses in the body and cause problems. So that's as far as we're going to go into that. The center channel is threefold, actually. You can look at it as a pipe within a pipe within a pipe. There's the center channel itself, which is tiny, smaller than the width of the human hair, so they say. So the Kundalini up the center has three streams. The very center's fine one is called the Chitrini. And I'm going to read you a passage out of The Serpent Power by Arthur Avalon. A couple of the comments they make on this that describe it a little bit better. This is originally from an ancient tantric text, and some of the comments on those texts. Chitrini is of the form of sun, moon, and fire. This is the center channel is the form of sun, moon, and fire. In this very center, the Chitrini is pale and is the form of the moon. The Vajrini is sun-like and thus has the luster of the filaments of the pomegranate flower that's surrounding the Chitrini on the inside. And then on the very outside, the Sushumna is fiery, hence red. Sushumna is the outermost and Chitrini the innermost. And here I'll put up a Caduceus on the screen. Now this is the typical medical style Caduceus with the two serpents around this center channel. And the wings at the top actually represent something that is seen, as was described by a couple of practitioners, including Gopi Krishna, when he accidentally awakened his, and he saw the light streaming as two big wings out from the top of the spine, and put him through some interesting experiences. Don't take his example as proper because he awakened it accidentally, knew nothing about it, and at the time could find no literature on the subject, so had a bunch of difficulties due to that. So in light of our discussion we're having here, I thought you might find this other picture pretty interesting. If you notice the one on the left, you know it shows the two serpents intertwined. It doesn't show the center channel so well, but imagine when it was originally formed, it was probably visible. At any rate, if there were any doubt that the Caduceus and the Kundalini have a connection, there you go. The stone is an ancient Indian artifact, as are the other stones in that picture, so I thought you might find that kind of interesting. And at last, I wanted to put up this nice little picture I found, which is much better than the one I had in this video, the chart of the mysterious Kundalini, the location of the glands. This is from a Samuel Weiser publication, as you'll see. So, for example, if you take the bottom and look at the Muladhara chakra, you'll notice over to the left you've got Brahma as the deity, and he has 5 faces. And on the right hand side you have the Dakinis. Pardon me. You have the Devis, and the Devi Dakini is on the bottom, associated with the Muladhara. And it's my understanding that meditation on her should help give jnana, or knowledge of this tattva, knowledge of the tattva. So this refers to, well, we'll get into that when we get into the root chakra, bija mantra, and so on. So I guess we'll pause this for right now. There are lots of ways to awaken Kundalini. The Kundalini yoga, we're not going to get into awakening the center channel. There are dharanas, asanas, pranayama, bandhas, mulas, chin locks, mudras, gestures, all kinds of ways of awakening it, each of which need to be understood properly to work. So we'll get into those later. We'll not try to awaken the center channel because I believe that requires more guidance than I can give somebody. So I again refer a person to the proper writings, Shivananda Sarasvati or equivalent, and we'll get into the root chakra next. Thank you.